everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Fallout New Vegas. Last time when we left off, we had just finished talking to Dr. Mobius, and as we learned, he was not at all what we expected, and today, I believe we are going to wrap up Old World Blues entirely. We need to speak to our brain and then to the think tank. So let's get rolling and take care of all of that. Good morning, Alexander. Good morning, Lone Wonder. Delightful to see both of you. How are you? Retrieve your brain from the Forbidden Zone. There it is.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Of course you're responsible. You're my brain.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those, feelings that motivate you, those urges to hurt people, to take and crush and maim, do you know where they come from? Glands. They come from glands. Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
Medicine 55. But you're the source of most of those glands, unless you're arguing that my thyroid is to blame.
Well, look, it's all a very complex system of biofeedback and other things I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Good morning, Shiny Pirate. Good morning, Nyron. Great to see both of you, even if Nyron won't be around much. Admit it, you're just as glandular as I am.
Oh, all right. Perhaps I am, but at least I'm logical about it.
Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back into my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
Good morning, Maya. Great to see you. But what about the good things? What about crushing those who oppose you? The smell of fire. Loot.
All motivated by nothing but an imbalance in certain brain chemicals. The tank corrects for that. I feel no urge toward antisocial behavior.
Speech 75. Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
So we're at an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures? Or how the hell did Mobius get hold of my brain? Let's go there first.
After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome.
How did he manage that?
I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank. I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though.
That seems like a pretty unlikely coincidence.
Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it.
That answers that. On to something else.
Well, as long as your curiosity is satisfied.
So what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Why? They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
What's so bad about letting the brains get out? They don't seem that terrible. Or, you're part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. Let's go.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Your brain added. Completed. Retrieve your brain from the Forbidden Zone. Confront Dr. Klein at the think tank and end your imprisonment at Big Mountain. Optional, use the Sync Autodock to retrieve your original heart. Optional, use the Sync Autodock to retrieve your original spine. Good morning, Cyclo. Great to have you here. Where's Mobius? We need to talk to Mobius again.
I'm imagining... Oh, I see you and your brain reached a compromise. How pleasant. I hypothesize after the indignant frequencies my receptors had recepted, such a partnership-based conclusion would be low on the likely scale.
Good morning, Infinimora. Great to have you here, as always. My brain told me the think tank needs to be stopped. Can you help?
If I recall, I had a plan that was working, whatever it was. I don't think it reached fruition. I would recall fruit if it had happened. I wasn't trying to kill them, just keep them out of trouble. What was that plan? Blast. I probably wrote it down on the floor somewhere.
Any tactics I could use to attack the think tank? What was the plan you had?
Something ingenious and needlessly complicated, I expect. I may have already told you and forgotten it. I forgot I had forgotten pencils until one day I found one. Spent days studying its purpose before my memory circuit kicked in. Felt quite silly.
Any tactics I could use to attack the think tank, or anything I could do to stop them that doesn't require violence?
Well, you could try and appeal to their humanity. That's a tired cliche. And really, when they were humans, they weren't very good humans.
Any suggestions for how to make them change their minds?
Well, there's many things they have forgotten, sitting in their bowls. Friendship, the thrill of discovery. Love, masturbation, the usual. Much like your brain, I am certain there is something you can spark within each of them. Memories, hormones. A wise man once said, "The eyes do more than see. Make them see, if you can. Or, if not, you can always make them succumb to fear." It certainly worked for me. For a time. Then you came along, and bravery and/or desperation trumped that little idea. Back to the drawing board, I suppose. Or is this the end? Hard to tell.
Good morning, Zilvit. Hello. Scare them? How?
Oh, tell them I'm still alive. We had a nice chat, and we agree on a few things. That's true, isn't it? Or you could kill me and lie about it. Either way, it would be interesting. And if you are partial to lying and deception, well, you could tell them a ludicrous lie. The more over the top, the better. That's my experience. They're more than a little gullible. Better make it convincing, though, or it'll be the dissection table and vivisectors for you. And if you speak of me, please try and make me look good. I am Dr. Mobius, after all, not some lab assistant teacher's aide.
Good morning, St. Louis. Let's see. Can I have a mentat?
Why, of course you can. I am well versed in the science of sharing. Well, when not chemmed out of my sphere.
Hi, Ethan. Thanks for stopping by. And finally, because we have no further use for him and I'm into experience points, I think I'm going to kill you after all.
Really? Oh, you're not thinking about doing it. You are going to do it. Oh, intriguing. I've never been killed before. Although, after that time I got that phlegmy discharge in my biogel, I wished I had been. Well, if there's going to be killing, I defer to your expertise in this matter. How should we begin? Engineering viruses, canceratic beams, atomics, electrocutioning? Or should I summon my minions? Yes, my minions.
What minions?
Whoa, have they not constructed themselves yet? That's a bit premature of me. The Robo-Scorpions, of course. They can assemble themselves from floor panels and parts scattered about. Quite inventive. Never really know when they might suddenly appear. Minions, destroy this intruder! Or perhaps make it more dramatic. Minions, to me! Oh yes, that's quite a bit better. Electrons attached to the neutron. The neutrons attached to the meson.
Oh shit, he's actually attacking. Alright. GRX, baby. You've gained the Lord Death perk. She's another stim, too. Alright. That's all clear. Let's check out my Lord Death perk that I just got. That one's fun. Damage bonus against everything, because you like killing everything. Well, ain't that the truth? orders. Work, 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 work. Leave me alone, would you? I know I don't particularly love killing Dr. Mobius, but we're literally never coming back here, and I would like the experience points, so... Same with his scorpions. I had the last one land over here. Wasn't even a kill everything run yet. Okay. And back to our buddies, the think tank. Actually, go to the sink first. Offload wrap side quests. Well, the one side quest that I still haven't wrapped. Field research. And then we'll be done. Ish. A lot of dialogue with the think tank to wrap things up, but so it goes. My mentats have worn off. Do I have any? Yeah, we got... Oh no, I had already dumped them. Just kidding. Wasn't even a kill everything run yet. True. Don't run both screens at once if I don't ask you to. Come on. Alright, cool.
Might I be of service, sir? Might I be of service, sir?
Oh no, Maya, this is only our second DLC. There are 2 others. And we've still got Dead Money and Lonesome Road.
Might I be of service?
$726. What else we got? Combat helmet, that looks good.
Might I be of service, sir?
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Let's get well rested. Now let's go deal with the think tank. Oh, we can probably sell a few more magazines.
Might I be of service?
Although he doesn't really have the caps for it, but we have We've also what's maxed out now? Lockpick and everything below repair. Okay.
Might I be of service, sir?
Unarmed is maxed. And there we go. To the think tank. Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Alright. Good time for an anchor save.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
Speed 75. Lie. You think I am the lobotomite? No. For my skull houses the brain of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Science 100. Medicine 85. Countless brain extraction surgeries exist, but only one implantation one from Mobius.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice, it is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
I offer a deal. Stay here, stay put, and I'll let you live.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
You can still do that, here, quietly, for me.
For you? And for science? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
And there we go. Completed. Confront Dr. Klein at the think tank and end your imprisonment at Big Mountain. Leave the think tank. Okay, now at this point we can kill them all, which is what I'm gonna do. Pickpocket Dr. O. They don't have minions, they're a lot easier to deal with than, I like that Dala has a teddy bear.
Power of science! Kill it! Kill it!
Dr. 8. They are funny, it's true, but much like Dr. Mobius, we're never going to talk to them again anyway, so...
unleash the incredible power of our atomic...
And that is that. Leave the think tank, and the sink is now our home. Back up to the sink.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the most powerful minds of the 23rd century. The courier who had been brought to the Big Empty became its new overlord, using its facilities ruthlessly and decisively when needed. Sometimes, science is more than a quest for discovery. It is a weapon to be used in the service of one with the strength to understand it.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
The Forbidden Zone continued to be, true to its name, forbidden. No more robo-scorpions were sighted in its canyons. Big Mountain became even emptier, devoid of Dr. Mobius's proclamations forecasting the destruction of anything that dared possess sentience. Still, it is said he lived on in the equations inscribed on the floor and walls of the Forbidden Zone dome. But these equations were nothing more than thin white traceries of lines, not unlike cobwebs in the corners of a failing mind.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the Showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant, and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the Magneto-Hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. It learned several new murderous techniques from the courier, and built a blood shrine to itself in the Cuckoo's Nest. The cave floor was soon filled with the horror of 100 gutted toasters, a silent, grisly, unplugged audience. Their purpose? To toast bread, unfulfilled.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, Although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues than before. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The cybernetic canine gender female designation Roxy sat in her guard post in X8. That is, until her I'm in heat programming circumvented her stay routine and she loped into the Mojave. There she ran across Rex at the King's School of Impersonation. His brain was failing. That was alright, he was still smarter than the think tank. The two of them constructed a litter of cyber pups, a small army of Boston Terrifiers that gnawed everything in their path.
Continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with the lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries, to come.
The Big Empty lived up to its name. A hollow crater of failures of a past era. A last sad statement of the old world.
In the time following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, Old World Blues became more than a catchphrase.
It became a reality, a withering form of nostalgia for times long past.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, it was all this and more. Old world blues, new world misery. The two became one in the courier's shadow.
Bad
We
karma.
could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
That last line is because this was chronologically... You've lost the Brainless perk. Chronologically, this was the third DLC to come out, and Lonesome Road was the only one left. You've lost the Brainless perk. You've gained the Big Brained perk. Big Brained perk. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled, but you are only 10% more resistant to addiction now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10%, minimum +1 DT. Yes, the organic parts, I think, are definitely a lot better. You've acquired the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder. It's capable of transporting you and you alone between the Mojave Wasteland and Big Mountain. To return to the Mojave or go back to Big Mountain from the Mojave, simply equip the Transportal Ponder as you would any weapon, pull the trigger, and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or in combat situations and is totally incapable of harming your enemies. Still need to install the last audio file. Oh, sonic emitter not detected. Sound wave transducer restricted to sonic emitter recalibration. Alright, I gotta grab my sonic emitter out of here. Now we can install the last one. Wait, what? Return the samples to the sink.
Might I be safe in the assumption that matters with the think tank had been satisfactorily concluded vis-à-vis your residence in this domicile?
Let me switch on the sink's personality matrices.
Do you, sir? Well, if that is Sir's wish, it is my primary directive. Personality matrices online, sir. Perhaps Sir would care to put Sir's feet up, and I might serenade Sir.
So you beat the Big Brains at their own game, huh? Guess you'll be putting your walking shoes on again, hitting that old and lonesome road.
I have a sound wave file for you.
Right on!
Yep. I'll talk to you later.
With the dulcet tones of a light opera.
There it is.
Will Sir be staying for any
Switch them off again. 140 cabs isn't really much, so... Let's start by offloading all the other stuff we picked up. The Big Mountain Transportal Ponder goes at our weapons. Teleportation to and from Big Mountain. And I've still got a good 30 minutes, so I suppose the next thing to do would be to move our shit from Novak, right? I'll sell him the teddy bear.
Staying for any...
Just to get rid of it. Alright. Let's... Oh yeah, before I do that, I want my other 2 organic parts back. So let's use the auto dock and put our organic parts back in. Swap body parts. Place your heart back in your chest. You've lost the Heartless perk. Cardiac Arrest perk. Your heart is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. You are less resistant to poison, 50%, and robots are only somewhat confused by you, 25% less likely to score a critical hit now. But on the bright side, healing items, chems, are twice as effective, plus 50%. His Headness, you missed a lot. You missed the ending of the entire DLC. Reattach your spine. You've lost the Spineless perk. Reinforced Spine perk. Your spine is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. Your torso can now be crippled again, but your strength and damage threshold bonuses have doubled, plus 2. So now, with that strength boost, we're finally going to be strong enough to use an anti-mat rifle when we go back to the Mojave. Actually, let's... Before I forget, let's bring some shit to sell, too. Because that... then I'll hopefully be able to accrue enough caps doing that to easily buy that last... Okay. So here we are, back in the Mojave. I'm going to start at Goodsprings, just because I have a lot of shit to sell off. I'm going to like circle through and end at Novac. The idea being to pick up all my stuff there. What's up, Chet?
You looking to buy some supply?
Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. How you been? Okay. Have that. That too.
Pleasure doing business with you.
No, the oscillator replaces your helmet. It was worth sciencing that out, but...
Feeling thirsty?
She's not going to be able to afford much. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the rest of this episode is just going to be handling business, but there's a good bit of business to handle. Alrighty.
Thanks.
Ah, yes. Look, we've still got our hyperactive crouch walk even out here. It's pretty great. The old familiar places. Oh shoot, I forgot to shut her radio off. Might get copyrighted when we go to YouTube. Oh well. Shit happens. Wasn't in there long, maybe we'll be okay.
How are you holding up?
Oh, I'm doing very well, Doc Mitchell. How are you? That's everybody here. Let's just go to the next spot, which would be Prim. You'd think, but he looks pretty normal. Well, as normal as you can look in that outfit.
Hey there, youngster.
Do you have anything for sale?
Give me a shout if you need anything else.
Let's head to the Mojave Outpost. Yeah, I'm unaware of any combination of headgears that is going to do something better for me than boost my critical chance by 5 points. Is there something you had in mind that you'd think would be better, Alexander? Because helmets don't do a lot for you in this game, but 5% critical chance is clutch.
We won't go
background?
We made a little progress in Prey. It wasn't super awesome. Let me see. She's got 7,000 cap, so I'm going to sell her the most expensive layer. Bam. $993. I guess we'll sell her the other inversal throwing axes too. There, our money situation's looking much better again.
Go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
I died a lot in Prey because I'm not very good at it and I don't know what a good build is. But we eventually made some progress. It wasn't bad. Alright, let me see. Let's go to the 188. Dehydrated. Okay, so perfect. Found 2 traveling merchants. Start with them.
There. Need anything?
2739. That's not much good, but guess you can take. You can take one of these combat armors. It's pretty good. How about you?
Hey there.
2696. You take the other one. Let's visit the arms dealer.
I've still got guns and ammo.
8007. That's more like it. 5566, 5649. There we go. Then 2358. She can buy something else, I think. Proton axe, not quite. Plasma defender. There we go. Let's go visit Alexander. That's not a bad idea, Nyron. It'd be a pretty big time investment on my end, but I wouldn't
Still making a nuisance?
4193. 3418. 3657. I think that's the best thing to sell him. Alright.
Give me a shout if you need anything else.
That'll do. That's more than double what I need for the implant, so everything else I can just stash. So, let's head to Novak. Though the atomic one isn't unique either. We've already found 2. which is why I have one to sell, and I am holding on to another one back at the sink, because I do want to keep it for the collection. They're cool. But it isn't unique. I'm selling this one precisely because it's the second one I found.
Welcome back. Can I get... Sure thing. Have a look.
1262. Well, that's lame. You can't afford any of this shit. Bye, Cliff. Alright. Now, this winds up pretty basic. Take everything. Let's go back to the sink. Alright. Ammo and explosives, you're up first. Oh, for fuck's sake, don't do that. So I'm having window trouble over on my second screen. There we go. Got my own power fists to repair shit with. That's gonna be good. Got sniper rifles to repair Christine's with myself. That's gonna be good too. Uniques go here. Crafting shit goes here. Keep my empty bottles for now. Turn them into purified water. Aid items go in here, including all the water we just picked up, among other things. I'm just gonna keep a big corner steak on me. Suddenly we can move again. This is for shit I just want to sell. Power fists and sniper rifles are repair supplies, so I'm going to stick them in here. Not that I really need them, but... Where did those last 2 pounds come from? One is that. I don't know, I'll figure it out. Get my chat caught back up. Probably have more water than the whole NCR. Yeah, I think so at this point. That goes in there. Ah, yes, and there's 1 pack of cigarettes. Okay. That goes in there, too.
Will Sir be staying for...
He is not restocked, but it's alright.
Will Sir be staying for...
Check my gear. Everything's good. Alright, let's install our last implant. Install implant Y7. Bonus HP and AP from food. 20,000 caps. Implant Y7 surgically installed. Bonus HP AP from food. And there we go. Alright. Let's get well rested. Check on our other needs. Getting hungry, getting a little thirsty. I'll eat a little something. Or in fact, I'll eat that bloatfly slider. Clear out all of my radiation. And I'll make one new anchor save before heading back to the Mojave for real. Oh. No, we've made all the skill books, Lone Wonder. We're good. There is one other thing to do, though. And that's try and get rank 3 of DNA Avenger. by hoping that some Cazadors have respawned. Not even going to bother looting them, we're just trying to kill them. Oh, fuck off. Okay, I need to kill a total of 5. It's 1 down, 3 to go. Now, somebody pointed this out to me in the Discord, that there's a third rank of the Cazador Deanna Avenger perk that we definitely want to get, so... Oh, fuck off. DNA Avenger perk rank increased. Further study of the abominations created at the Big Mountain has granted you an additional damage bonus, 10% against Cazadors. And we'll kill this one just because he's live and angry. There we go. We're still poisoned. Clear that up right quick. Yeah, you gotta go chase down at least 1 batch of respawns in order to fully power up the perk. Apart from that, I'd really like to not have to kill anything else at this juncture. Thank you. Any streams this weekend? Odds are actually pretty good. I don't know for sure. I know I don't have anything going on, though. The only question is whether or not Tiffany does.
Will Sir be staying for any...
How much
Will
caps
Sir
you
be
got?
staying for any...
623. Three of those and a pack of cigarettes ought to be good.
Will Sir be staying for any...
Let's drop off that last bit of stuff. Alright, now we are ready to return to the Mojave. I'm going to hotkey the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder because we're going to be using it a lot. And we are just about done. But we're going to, for the next installment, we're going to head more or less right where we left off, exploring last time. If I can find my way there. Yeah, we're going to go to Colville Bay, and we're going to start exploring this little corner of the map. Let's head back there right now. Kind of surprised that the Cazadors haven't respawned, but that's alright. We're going to head over here to the Bitter Springs Recreation Area. And exploring that is where we're going to pick up our next episode next Tuesday morning. There may well be streams this weekend, probably Remake. I'll keep you all posted in the Discord. Until then, for those of you watching live on Twitch, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. If you're new and you enjoy what you saw, I hope you'll hit the follow button so you can see when we go live again. If you're watching later on YouTube, I hope you'll like the video and subscribe to the channel, assuming you enjoyed the content, of course. And regardless of which platform you're on, I hope that you'll consider joining our Discord server. The link to do so is either in the YouTube video description or the Twitch channel description. We discuss what you'd like to see me play, I announce when I'm going live, discuss upcoming streams, and talk about a whole lot of other stuff too. That was Old World Blues. One of the greatest expansions, greatest DLCs to any game ever, as far as I'm concerned. Probably second only to Shivering Isles from Oblivion. And starting next Tuesday, back in Fallout, we will be back in the Mojave, poking around there again. Until then, thank you so much for your time and attention, and have a great day and a great weekend.